Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we're going to be making gifts from the home. This is a open collaboration now, and also it's Frugal Living Challenge 25 and a Gingerbread Christmas. So what am I making today? I've got this really cool vintage book, Make a Mix Cookbook. And y'all, I have found the perfect pancake mix in a jar to make. So it is found on page 13 of my book. And I'm not going to use the all-purpose flour that it calls for. I am actually going to use self-rising flour because it calls for a 1/4 cup of baking powder. It's cheaper to buy the self-rising flour, let's be honest. And we're all about saving money. I'm going to pair this with some of the Amish made maple syrup, but you certainly could use flavored syrups in your gift bag. You could actually jar them up in old barbecue jars. If you could get the labels off, these little glass jars like this, you could certainly use these if you can get those pesky labels off. And I do have some, but I don't want to dig them out today. So I'm just going to leave it in the pint jar that it came in. And we're going to get in here. We're going to make this mix up. We're going to get it bagged up and make a really nice Christmas gift for somebody. You may want to stop your video right now and go grab a pen and paper because I'm going to give you the recipe out of the book as it's written. But in place of the 10 cups of all-purpose flour, we are using self-rising flour today. 2½ cups of instant non-fat dry milk, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of salt. You're going to combine these ingredients in a large bowl, stir together to blend well, put in large airtight containers, label, store in a cool, dry place, use up within 6 to 8 months. It makes about 13 cups of pancake mix. And then I'm going to go over on page 61 and write down the directions to do the perfect pancakes. So into my big mixing bowl, I am going to put in a 1/2 gallon jar of my self-rising flour. And then I'm going to add 2 cups to this. Because powdered milk sometimes gets clumped up. You can actually put it through a sifter and really make sure you don't have any clumps in there after you measure. So I know 2 cups there, and I'm going to go to just about the top of the jar. That will be about 2½ cups. So we're going to call that 2½ cups. We're going to go ahead and add this to our big mixing bowl. Next, we need sugar, and we only need a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm using an organic cane sugar. We use a lot of organic products in our home. I just think it's better than the white sugar that you buy on the store shelves. And again, you want to kind of break your clumps up as you go. I'm almost there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add this to our bowl. And I need 2 tablespoons of salt. So I'm using canning salt because it doesn't have iodine in it, in case I decide to give this to my daughter. But you can use kosher salt, pink salt, whatever salt that you have on hand. Get that out of my way. I'm going to grab a spatula. This is Christmas after all. We need our Christmas spatula out. And so I'm just going to gently mix this all together. And if I feel like I've got too many lumps, I'll definitely put it through a sifter. But you do want to stand back because it is going to kick up some dust while you're mixing. And you just want to make sure that you've got everything really incorporated. All right, I'm going to switch over to my page 61 in my book because it gives me the measurements that I need for my jar and what I need for adding. So they have 2 recipes in here for pancakes. You can do the puff oven one, but it has a lot more ingredients to add to it. Or the perfect pancakes, which only has 1 egg slightly beating, 1 cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, of course. And just a simple recipe. You can also use this for onion rings. So I need 2 I need 1.5 cups of pancake mix. So I can actually use a pint jar if I wanted to, or I can put the mix in a quart jar. And this will make 10 to 12 14-inch pancakes. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 1.5 cups and put in here. And I'm not going to put any more in there because I want them to add the ingredients to the jar and shake. So this is going to make pancake mix. I want just a little bit over. So I'm going to put in the 1.5 cups. It's not going to look like a lot in the jar. It's actually going to look like they're getting gypped on their gift, but I'm going to put on a label on here, mix in jar, so to make more sense. So the next jar, and of course I'll continue until I have all my jars done up. We do this at home too for our own pancakes. We mix everything in a jar. It just makes cleanup so much easier. So got a little bit more to go. There. So I'm not going to do all the mix on camera, but you get the idea. I've done 2 of them. I'll go ahead and do the 3rd one since I have a jar sitting out here. And again, you want to stand back when you're putting it in the jar because you don't want to breathe all that in. So I'm going to move all this stuff out of my way. I'm going to finish my jars off camera, come back with 1 jar and show you how I label this and how we package it. All right, I picked this little gift card set up at a thrift store. It comes with 2 ink pads, little foam stamps, red and green, and some labels. And it came with stickers as well, so I made up some labels with stickers on them. And here's the Santa Claus one with stickers on them. So on the front, I'm going to write what it is, and it's got a place on here that you can go ahead and put who it's to and who it's from. Great way to use your tags, your oversized tags for these jars. And then I saved these strings from my Gingerbread Man ornament. There was extra strings in there, so I saved those and I can use those again. So on the front of the card, I'm going to put on here, Perfect Pancakes Mix. I don't have the best handwriting, but I've got it on the front of the card. And then on the back of the card, I'm going to say add to jar 1 egg, slightly beaten, 1 cup of water, and 3 tablespoons oil. And I'm going to say shake, close jar, shake until mixed. Let stand 5 minutes. Cook on hot oiled griddle for 3 to 4 minutes until brown. On both sides. I'm going to flip my card over and I'm going to put up here makes 10 to 14 4-inch pancakes. And then I would add their address. So that's the front of the card and the back of the card. Real easy peasy to make your own labels, or you can do them on a computer if you like. And then you would just string your label. I'm going to pop this out. Pop that little hole out and get my string on there to add my label to my jar. And tie your knot at the top because you're going to string your gimp cord through this when you're tying on the cover. So I've got my coffee filters. This is my thing that I like to do is coffee filters. And let me grab some gimp cord. I thought I had a piece over here. Let me go grab a piece. This is what I call gimp cord. I'm going to go ahead and string this label through that gimp cord so that when I get ready to tie this, it's already on there. I'm going to move it down the string just a bit. And so I'm going to tie it around my jar. And it's not enough to go around twice, so, well, it could without a bow. I could just tie a knot. We'll just tie a knot and move our label to the front where the tie is. And there you have it. Perfect little gift. Now, if you don't want to do just the pancake mix, you could certainly give them the instructions for the onion rings. And I did that in a smaller jar because I'm going to use this as an onion ring mix. I'll take it out of the jar and I can follow the instructions that I write on the lid or on a tag. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9, but I did add an extra half cup of flour to this to get 9 jars, just so you know. So you want to use 10.5 cups instead of 10 cups. So we're going to get rid of all of this stuff, and I'm going to get it bagged up and let you see what it looks like in the package. Okay, again, I'm using brown paper bags with a gift card from years past glued to the front of it as my packaging. And you would just slip this in. These are the smaller gift bags or the medium size. You'll get both jars in there very easily, and you have a package ready to go to a special someone for a very special breakfast that they can put together in a hurry on one of those busy mornings and feel good about it. The perfect breakfast gift for someone that loves pancakes and maple syrup. Yum, yum. So they give you several options here. Pancake mixes, you could use the puff oven pancake mix found on page 61, the golden French toast on page 63, or Monte Cristo sandwiches on page 88 and 89. And of course you can also use pancake mix to do onion rings, and you would deep fry them. Thank you folks for watching. Thank you Tina for home gifts from the home. Get it right. And this is Frugal Living Challenge 25, a gingerbread Christmas. Tell me in comments if you liked this gift idea. Be blessed, everyone. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.